Okay, so we're live. Welcome back to the Magic Minds podcast. I'm Matt Burke. You're watching and listening to the Liberties #1 podcast. You up the Liberties, you up the flats. What's the crack? Welcome back to another episode where yours truly is going to sit here solo and have the chats and waffle away till you fall asleep. Thanks very much for all the feedback I got from the last two podcasts, My Leaps of Faith and Facing the Darkness. I got some incredible messages that my work really resonates with people and Facing the Dark and the Leaps of Faith, and it's phenomenal. It's brilliant to hear it. And like my book, shameless plug, my story is similar to everybody else's out there. Do you know what I mean? It's so similar. And when I talk about pain and hurt and shame and guilt and fear and facing all these things and difficulties in relationships and life, people understand. It's relatable to people. I am just sharing what's going around in a lot of people's heads. And like when I go to the schools, one of the common things I'm hearing from students and teachers is my story is relatable. Because I talk about shame, I talk about guilt, fear, anxiety, love, kindness, compassion, pain, frustration, anger. Who doesn't experience that shit? And I'm just talking about it so people go, I get it. My feelings and our emotions are similar to yours. Our stories may be different. Different things may have happened to you in your past and your upbringing and your experiences in life, but they still elicit the same fears, anxiety, worries and thoughts. So that's how we can see how relatable we are. And that's why I share my story. And something in my story may inspire you to change and heal your little self or achieve your best life or whatever that is. So look, thanks very much. I really appreciate all the feedback. Keep sending it in. It really helps me, it really does, and it lets me know what people are thinking, and it inspires me and it motivates me. And some days I feel like, just not in the humour of doing it. Then I get all this feedback and people are getting benefit from it, and it helps me with my practice, it helps me with my healing. So it's a two-way street. So look, again, we're going to do a 30-minute. Where's me? Stick the clock on here. I don't know how long we've gone over now, maybe a minute or two. Shit. Let's get the clock started. Right, so that's my trusty clock to know that I'm not waffling on past the 30 minutes. So I'm going to say it's around 28 at this point. So here's the question I want to ask you. Are you struggling to achieve success, goals, dreams in finance, career, body composition, relationships, peace, having peace in your life? Is that something that you're struggling to achieve? Are they dreams that you have in your mind, in your life, and you're finding it hard to obtain them? Here's a question I ask clients. Do you really want it? Do you really want it? It's something to ask yourself, is it? Do you really want it? Are you willing to endure the pain, the suffering, the sacrifice, the commitment, the consistency, the persistence to achieve it? And that's a question I ask clients, family, and myself. Do you really want it? So let that sink into your mind. Just a gentle reminder, all the work I do is sponsored by Rooney Media Graphics. He's helped me create this mindfulness and gratitude activity journal. So just want to remind people, we are still on the lookout as we're doing another reprint. So if your company, college or school wants to work with us, have your details on the front, some advertising on the inside, you can give it to staff or students as a gift. It has lots of tools and tips for practicing mindfulness meditation and mental health tools. It also has my poetry in here. It has a 52-week gratitude journal. And I also have a short story of how I move from my head to my heart using love, kindness, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude and creativity. So that's something you'd like to get involved with, or your company, school or college, send me an message, send us an email. You get my details on my website, www.magicminds.ie, or you'll find me on social media where I'm a whore for social media, I've been told before. You'll get us there. I'd love to work with companies. If it works for you and it works for us, we'll have the chat and see if that works out, or if that's something you would like to do. We have collaborations with the likes of TSB, the Health Service Credit Union, Shannon's Hope Line, Junior Genius. You know, we've established great contacts in the community, and it's having a huge impact. I get lovely messages about it as well. So let us know if that's something you'd like to do. There's my shameless plug. Sell. Right, that's the bag and bowl down. So where am I? I have me kind of me stay on track information on the board. Because if I didn't, I'd forget. So where are we at? Right. So I asked you a question. Do you really want it? So here's the thing I want to ask. Do you really want it? Now, I've had success and failures in all of the above, in finance, careers, relationships, body composition, peace in my mind. I've had success now, but I've also had failures in all them in the past. And remember, right, this is something I must say, and I've said it before, this is not a how to do a podcast. This is not a how to do an episode either. I am not by any means telling you how to do something or telling you what to do or advising you to do it this way. So you may listen to this podcast, you may listen to the stuff I do and go, Matt, that's a load of bollocks. So I don't agree with that. And I'd say, that is not fantastic. Well done, you. You've chosen to believe your own way of doing things. And if you have success, brilliant. You do you. Boo. This is the way I do it. And when I tell you how I've achieved success, and I'll go through the difference between wanting and don't want and all the other stuff, the facing fear or leaps of faith, and if there's something in my story that may help you, then that's great for you. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you how I do it. How I look back and go, how did I actually achieve that? How was I able to decipher the difference between wanting it and not wanting it? And how did that help me to achieve success? How did that change how I operate in my life? And that's all I'm doing. I'm just telling you how I do it. And then you may take something from this and apply it to your life. And that's whether you read a book or listen to other podcasts or speakers or teachers or community leaders. We listen, we watch, and go, yeah, beg, borrow, and steal from other people. Use a bit of this, use a bit of that, and then make your own plan out of it. And that's all I'm trying to inspire you to do. Stories that have the power to inspire. Okay, so let's get back on track. Here's one of the big things, and I'm going to take you through examples of my own life of when I've noticed that I've not wanted it and I didn't achieve it, and when I've wanted it and what I've noticed in both examples and with family as well. Okay, but here's one of the most poignant things that I've noticed straight away about my own behaviors, my own practice, families, clients, and people that I know in my life, friends. Okay, and that's, are you focused on, if you're going after a dream or if you're going after a goal or you're going after something that you really want in your life, are you excuses focused or are you solution focused? Yeah? So you're probably sitting there thinking examples of things that you want to achieve. Now ask yourself, is your behavior, is your internal self-talk, the language that you're saying in your head, out about with people, is that excuses? Are you blaming? Are you saying, if only this, if only that, if I had had that, if I had more money, if I had a better opportunity, if. That to me is excuses focused. Solution focused is problem solving. What do I need to do to achieve this? What will I need to get? Who do I need to contact? Where will I start? All trying to fix or create a solution. Fix the problem or create a solution to achieve your goal. Or are you looking outside of yourself and blaming other people? So is it excuses you're saying? Or is it solution you're saying? And that's so obvious for me when I want to achieve something. So let me take you through a couple of examples. Right, so my daughter got a car a couple of years ago, and I was sitting outside here, and I was sitting outside my ma's or her ma's, and we got her the car, we got insurance as well, and it was sitting there, and I rang her, and I says, what's the story with your driving? How's that getting along? You're meant to be doing lessons, what's going on? And it was, that I rang your man, and da whatever, right? Again, excuses, there's this, there's that, my dog ate me homework, loads of them. And I said to her, love, you don't really want this. And she was like, oh, no, I do that, and I do, and I this and that, and there was more excuses, and there was a reason for this, and there was a reason for that. And as my man used to always say, if I had 40 holes, you'd have 40 pegs. There was an answer for everything that I asked. And I said, love, to me, it just sounds like you don't want it. And that's okay, okay? And she was, oh, no, I do that. And I said, okay, love, okay, we'll see, we'll see. So then, only I think last year, the year before, she said to me, Dad, do you remember you said to me, we were driving along, and she says, Dad, do you remember you said to me about not wanting it? And I says, yeah, love, what's the crack? And she goes, I get it now, Dad. I really get it. It went from here, from her head into her heart, of actually knowing what it feels like to wanting it. Because she was faced with having to get to her job at a certain time, she had to get the dog into town. She lives in Rathfarnham, so she needed the car. She needed it. So she moved from wanting it, or thinking she wanted to, actually really wanting it because she needed it. So then she was like, no more excuses. She moved into solution focus. She moved into, I'll get your man to bring me out on this day. Dad, will you come up and do driving with me on this day? It was all business, business, business. She was problem solving. She was thinking, how am I going to get my driving license? How am I going to get myself on the road? She wasn't just sitting there thinking, oh, well, the driving fella hasn't rang me this week and I'm not waiting. Because she was like, oh, well, I'll get someone else. I'll do something else. I'll da, 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 da. She was banging out solutions, getting on to me. I could feel it myself, viscerally feel the pressure of text me, Dad, can we go out this day? Are you free this day? Da, da. Where before she was like, oh, I don't want to body it. And da, 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 da. But she got it. She realised how much she wanted it. Before she was just thinking up excuses for why it wasn't happening. And she was creating all that. But then she got that knowing from head to heart, because it's in your heart where you truly know where you want it, if you're willing to ask the difficult questions. Another example was I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I also wanted to take up singing lessons, right? I really wanted, oh yeah, I'd love it. I could see myself dreaming away, playing the guitar, singing a song. But when it came down to wanting it, was I willing to put in the work? Was I willing to put in the embarrassment of being shit at something when I started off? So I got the guitar, I got it switched over from right-handed to a left-handed. I downloaded an app that you pay and you get the lessons. But I struggled with learning how to do it. I didn't put my hand here and I was trying to follow the instructions and all that. And what happened then was I started making excuses. Oh, I need somebody to have somebody sitting in front of me. I need somebody to tell me, I'm better with one-to-one instructions, yada, 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 excuses. Same with the singing lessons. I went to do singing lessons and I still laugh to this day about this. I went to do singing lessons and this young fella was like a doppelganger for Justin Bieber. And we were in this studio down in North Wall or East Wall, and he had me doing these exercises for warming up. And he says, right, you do this and follow me. And I went, wee! And I have to stand in front of this kid and go, wee! And I'm not going to fucking lie to you, I was absolutely mortified. Me and this young fella, I don't know, he was maybe 19, 20, standing in a room, never met him before in my life, and I'm going, wee! And he goes, no, wee a bit higher. And I'm like, wee! And the more and more I went on, I was fucking mortified, right? So that was the guitar, that was the singing. I had to book in with him again. But what did I do? I made excuses. Oh, I can't do it that day. I can't do it this day. I can't do it whatever. There was excuse. The same with the guitar. Did I really want it? Did I really, really want it? I wanted the end product. I wanted to be able to sing. I wanted to be able to play the guitar. I wanted to bang out Oasis songs. Not that I like Oasis, but apparently that's easy to play. And these other songs, I wanted to sound cool at a party. Again, I don't go to fucking parties. I wanted the end product, but I wasn't willing to go through the pain, endure the pain, the short term pain for long term gain of being shit at it, practicing, putting in the time, being consistent, problem solving. Um, I wasn't willing to do either or of those to get the result. So what did I do? Instead of accepting that I don't really want it, I made excuses. Now, look, does this stuff that I'm covering here today and in general, we could go deeper and deeper and deeper. But I don't want it for now. But there may be a deeper line reason why you may not want it or why it's not happening. We can go deeper and deeper. We won't. We'll stay on the surface. But in this moment, right here, right now, you may not want it, and I didn't want it, and that's going across mind, body, and soul work. Right now, I don't want it. We may not be ready for it. If that's psychological work, if that's physical work, or if that's financial stuff, you may not be ready. And right now, I didn't want that. I had to admit, you don't really want it. I wanted it. If someone said, right, you can sing and you can play guitar, I'd have took it. But are you willing to go and do all the work? Are you willing to put in the hours? Are you willing to endure the embarrassment of being shit at something first and practice and practice and practice and practice and practicing? And the answer was no. And I had to be honest. And I've had many of those over the year. And many times I've blamed other people and circumstances that it wasn't my fault. It was always something outside of me. I didn't take responsibility. I used excuses and I blamed. The dog ate me homework. All right? I didn't do what I normally do when I truly want something. I'm solution focused. I focus on the solution. I focus on problem solving. And when we go through the stuff that I'm going to explain to you about wanting it, it contradicts the not wanting a thing. Some of the excuse that I put up why I didn't want it, or why it wasn't happening. So here's the thing. These are examples in my life I'm going to share with you that say to me, Jesus, you really wanted that. Okay? So one of the big ones for me when I look back and going, how bad did you want something? And what would you do to achieve that? Right now I can think of loads of them. Maybe I can go back as far as when I was 12 and somebody robbed my bike in school, and I wanted that bike back. My uncle gave it to me. It was a BMX, it was a rally burner, and my uncle gave it to me. I remember going to Tallaght to get it and cycling it back, and then I got robbed in my school. Someone told me where it might be, and I went all around the bike shops around Crumlin, Inchicore, walked for hours till I got that bike back. I endured the pain of having to go around, and I found it. Then I had to go to the guards and I had to report this, and then they would have to go to school, and the person that took my bike, so it was called a rat. But I was willing to endure the pain. Now I'm raging looking back that I did rat someone out, but I wanted my bike back. And I went through all that pain of walking around, the bullying that came after it, but I truly, truly wanted it. And that showed me the difference between talking about it and actions. What are your actions? That's another big one. Are you just talking or are you taking action? And I took action. My action was walk around, go to guards, get me fucking bike back. I got the slaps for doing that off people, but I got my bike back. I want it. When I think back, that's what I know for sure what wanting feels like. When you will go through a brick wall to get what you want, you will endure the pain. Another huge one for me was I went back to college. I went back to education in 2007. I'd done further education college, a level 6 in personal training, leisure management, sports and recreation, blah, blah, blah. And then that led me on to a sports science degree. Okay? So, look back, did you want it? Yeah, I did want it. Did you make any excuses? No, I didn't. I done everything that was asked me. I turned up. I was consistent. I took action. I problem solved. What do you mean you problem solved? Well, working 4 to 5 nights on the door in Bray, I was on the social welfare or the social farewell. I was just getting the return to education payment. I applied for grants. I worked, as I say, 5 nights on the door. From 7 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd get home about probably about 4:45. I'd go to bed and I'd be back up at 8 o'clock to get ready for college, go to college. I'd do Monday to Friday, be back in the library on a Saturday morning, study Saturday and Sunday, get be on the door. That's the difference between wanting and not wanting. Standing on a beach, freezing your bollocks off on a Monday or Tuesday night at 11:30 on the seafront, cold, freezing, rough lads coming up from all sorts of backgrounds, inner city, travelling community, middle class rugby players, foreign lads. You wouldn't know who'd come up the door to cause trouble. And it wasn't just a certain minority group, it was lots of people. But I'd be standing there shitting, facing me fears, absolutely terrified. I wasn't meant to be a doorman. I was terrified. I don't know what other doorman at the time were like, but I was actually shitting to get into a fight. I'm not the greatest fighter in the world. I can speak, but I was willing to do that to get me qualifications, to get me degree. You know, I'd done the course, started the course and all, and I think it was past first year, and then I moved in to do work in Bray and do door work. But that's what I was willing to do to get me degree. And that was the difference between wanting and not wanting. You know, I could say, oh no, I'm not doing door work, I don't like that, or, you know, it's too late, or I'll miss my kids, or something. I was willing to put in the time for those 6 years to get my qualifications, to appease all the insecurities and the self-doubt and all the stuff that stopped me from achieving success in my life. Here it was, present with an opportunity. Do you want it, or don't you want it? And this is what you're going to have to do. And I would have went through a brick wall. And I told people, you know, yeah, people used to think I was telling spoofs. People say, oh, you're a fucking spoofer, a doorman, going on and doing a science degree. But I had it in my mind, that's what I was going to be doing. And I wasn't going to let that stop me. And I would have done anything. As I say, I would have went through a brick wall. And wherever barrier came up in front of me, I was always problem solving. And there's many different problems came up to face me while I was doing the door, not having a license one stage, stuff went on in my private life. Again, I was like, how will I solve this? Because I truly, truly wanted it. Another huge one was me ma and the relationship with me ma. You know, I've talked about it before, and I won't really get into too much, really, it'll take up too much time. But I was always angry at me ma, angry at her inside because of stuff she said to me as a kid. I didn't tell her. We never created that space to talk about. My ma struggles about talking about feelings and emotions and all that shit. So we never went there. But it used to bother me, but I always used to say, I felt shit. I felt like a monster, being angry at me man, snapping her, biting her head off, being intolerant towards her, not giving her a fucking minute sometimes. And I felt shy. But I wanted to have that relationship. I wanted to hold her and tell her I loved her. I wanted to be honest and open about it, that I was angry or I was annoyed, and I didn't know how to do it. But I set out to do that. I went to counselling. I done the work. I read the books. It all made sense at an intellectual level. I got it. My ma struggled herself as she was a child and as a parent, and she done things that possibly weren't good for me, but she tried her best, and I knew all that here, but I just didn't let it go from here to here and really see her as a struggling human being herself. I kept looking for answers, and I found in a holotropic that helped me move from my head to my heart. The work I'd done in my book, the work I done in the podcast, all was a stepping stone towards me getting what I wanted. I wanted that relationship with man. Now I have this phenomenal relationship with man. I hug her and I tell her I love her. She still irritates me to like fuck, like other people in my problem or my family. Well, they trigger my irritation. I don't blame them. It's inside me, but I can see beyond that, and I love her. What we like for time. We've 8 minutes. I can see beyond that, and I absolutely love her now. And again, I wanted it. I stopped the blame and I stopped the excuses and I started doing the work on problem solving because I knew I had the answers inside me. I had to become comfortable with the past. I had to become comfortable with my own thoughts, feelings, and emotions and stop blaming me ma and blaming other people. Yeah, it takes work. It's not a quick fix solution. The Great Wall of China wasn't built in a day. It takes work. Again, I've many examples like leaving the NRH. I gave up a pensionable job. I said, you know what? I'm leaving. What are you going to do, Matt? I'm going to teach classes. I'm going to do talks in schools. I'm going to sell stuff in the market. And that's exactly what I do. And someone said to me, what would you do if that doesn't work? Well, I'll find something. I've got a van. I'll deliver stuff. And what me saying it was, I've been willing to do anything but go back to that system. There's no blame to the NRH or anyone else. I'm not giving out or slagging them off. I'm finished with that part of my life. And from here on in, I will do whatever it takes. I'll go through a brick wall to achieve success. That's just what I'm willing to do. And now, what am I doing today? I sell stuff in the market. I love it. Deliver the market. I up the market. Sell stuff in the market. I do talks in school. I run my program, the 3Ms, Mind Movement and Mindfulness in schools. I have another program called Be Your Own Hero and the Clarity and Success. There are 3 programs I've designed myself and I roll them out. I teach classes, I coach people, and I just live my best life. I didn't know how I'm gonna get there, but I knew where I wanted to go. I wanted to go. I wanted it. And I truly wanted it. And my actions, the way I live my life, is showing me that I want this. My actions, not I'm just saying it. I'm saying, oh, I don't know how is this not happening and I'm having excuses. No. I put in the work. I action out what I say I'll do. One of the big ones over all of this, everything I do in my life, and I wanted it when the day I walked into my counsellor, Maggie, and she said, what do you want? I said, I want the chaos to stop. What I was really saying was, I want peace. Peace in my life, peace in my mind. I wanted it all to just to subside. Okay? I really, really wanted it. Okay? And that's taken me, and it's still not mastered, not by any means, 10/11 years getting peace in my life. How much do you want it? I turned in. I knew the storm was inside me. I didn't consciously know at the time, but it felt like the right thing to do. Start exploring. In order to get calm in my life, to get peace and get rid of the chaos, we had to look inside to see what was causing the chaos, all the thoughts, the feelings and emotions, the behaviors, the habits, the drinking, the drugs, the sleeping around, robbing, stealing, lying. All those things were causing internal chaos. And I had to start to shine a light of awareness in there to understand the nature of my mind, understand why I did what I did, what was the driving force of all this. But it was all in here. It wasn't out here. I can't blame other people. Stuff happened to me in the past, but I'm responsible for how I react to my past. And because it was at such a subconscious level, I didn't realise that. Then I started doing the work. Then I became aware what was the driver. No more blaming. I have a choice now. Peace or chaos, peace or chaos. Do you want to drink? Do you want to do a line? Do you want to sleep around? Up to you. Do you want peace or do you want chaos? And that's the question I ask myself all the time. Do you want peace or do you want chaos? Do you want peace? Do you want chaos? How much do you want it? Are you willing to endure short-term pain for long-term gain? Send that text message, go for that drink, have that line, binge eat. It's choice. Peace or chaos. How much do you want it? How much do you want it? And that's where I ask my time. That's everything I do. And I'm willing to sit with the pain of someone thinking I'm stupid, someone thinking that they're right and I'm wrong. Because I'll say, what will this bring me? Will this bring chaos or will this bring peace? And I will choose peace because I'm okay. I'm okay with me. I understand me now. I'm not stupid. I'm not wrong. I'm not right. Not anything. I just want peace. I want peace. I want peace. And I'm happy just living my life. But I knew a long time ago I had to make a choice. Do you want it or don't you want it? Do you want peace? And everything I do now is in service of all the work that I do, whether it's peace, the work I do, self-employed, because I truly know when I want something now. And I'll ask you, are you making excuses or do you really want it? Are you focused on solution or are you focused on excuses? Solution or excuses? And you ask yourself that question, do you really want it? And where is your focus? And are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to be consistent? Are you willing to action out what you say? Are you problem solving? Are you committed to it? Are you consistent? Will you be persistent when you face adversity? That's the telltale sign whether you want or not. I'll leave that with you. How does that sit with you? How does that resonate with you? How do you like them apples? Right, so I think on my clock I'm 28 minutes. I think that's enough of waffle. Hopefully that serves you well. As always, I want to thank Noel Riley from Rooney Media Graphics. My main man, you need any graphic design done, he's your man. Andy from Liberty's Media Hub. The girls from Shannon's Hope Line doing amazing work. For all you guys out there that send in your message, thanks very much. Keep sharing the podcast, keep sharing my work. If you like what we do and you would like to sponsor us, we have a Patreon page. You want to give us the price of a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, that's great. If you don't have that, that's okay. Everything, all the work I do on social media and all the work I do here is all free 99. So thanks very much. A little reminder, if you would like to get involved with us with our mindfulness and gratitude activity journal, please send me some messages. That leaves me to say adios. As always, mind your little self. Please, 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 mind your little self. Be compassionate, be kind to your little self. How do we do that? Remove everything that is not compassionate or kind. Take away the negativity that you put upon yourself, all the judgment of yourself. Get rid of all that and you will be left with compassion. Be kind to your little self. Have a whopper day. You up the flats, you up the Liberty Market. Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Dublin, eh? Bye-bye.